At Kinesis, we protect your savings with a passive income paid in gold every single month. Just look how much we paid out to our customers last year. Protect and grow your savings with Kinesis. Sign up today.
WTTTT. Hey! Turn it up now. Turn it up bold. Digital Bay Live. Story gets told. State that shine. Truth untold. Diversity medals. Alpine gold. WTTT. That's the code. Digital Bay riding on the radio roll. Diversity medals. Alpine gold. Where the hustle gets heavy and the heart stays gold. WTTT. Lock it low. Turn it up high. Let the whole town know. Diversity medals. Alpine gold. WTDTA radio. That's the show. From the ground to the sky, yeah, we lift that weight. Every ounce of the grind, every choice we make. Got the bars, got the brains, got the brave and bold. From the dirt to the shine, that's real gold. Digital Bay on the mic, that's trust. Every word cut clean, no rust. From the block to the boardroom, stories told. Diversity medals, Alpine gold. WTBT, that's the code. Digital Bay riding on the radio roll. Diversity medals, Alpine gold. Where the hustle gets heavy and the heart stays gold. WTBT, lock it low. Turn it up high, let the whole town know. Diversity medals, Alpine gold. WTDTA radio, that's the show. Early morning to the late night drive. We keep the line hot, keep the culture alive. From the mines to the mines, value grows. Every caller, every cause, that's how it flows. Turn the dial, feel the pride unfold. Every voice got weight, every soul worth gold. On the air, in your ear, truth gets told. Diversity medals, Alpine gold. WTTA, that's the code. Beat Jill Bay riding on the radio roll. Diversity medals, Alpine gold. Where the hustle gets heavy and the heart stays gold. WTTA, lock it low. Turn it up high, let the whole town know. Diversity medals, Alpine gold. WTDTA radio, that's the show. WTTTTA. Yeah.
No warning.
City lights still glowing in the morning.
Mr. Z,
Chocolate diva.
we outside.
Look.
Hop out the train in the cold as the jungle, we roam. Triple black fit, hood up, put the paint on my tone. Mama pray that I grow, I put my name on the stone. Carved it deep in the block, now every lane is my own.
Shorty texting my phone, said she feeling alone. Told her link in the heights, sweet, turn the strip to a throne. From the steps where we posted just to hide from the chrome. To the jet talk, penthouse with a mic and a cone.
Got that Memphis in my walk, see the lean in my stance. NYC in my talk, hear the slang when I glance. We was broke, counting change, trying to stretch it to dance. Now the chain swing heavy, every link is advanced. Took a L, took a risk, I ain't taking it back. I put my life on the disc, I put my soul on the track. From the gutter to the glove, I had to carry the pack. Now they study how I move, like they comparing the stats. We came from nothing but a dream and the beat on the block. No warning when we slide, we just lead to the top. Where the city never sleep and the speakers don't stop. Every corner got a story when the temperature drops. No warning, he just slide through.
Trap city, boom bap.
What the vibe do? From the block to the booth, let the light move.
From the dark to the view.
On the high roof, no warning, we just pop out.
Memphis joking on the curb.
Bring the stump out. Let every side of the map when we walk out.
Got the world saying damn.
What a knockout. Yeah, I step on the scene, little attitude mean, little gloss nails did, but I move like a queen. Big talk, big walk, I put the drip in the lean, I turn the cycle to a throne, I put the glow in the team. Hood star from the start, I had a heart of a vet. They try to play me in the back, I turn the deck to a bed. Went from stepping up the bus with all this weight on my neck to collecting all the dues, I get the check and I jet. See the swag and the stride, this the city in me. Got the Bronx in my lab, but the Memphis in feet. From the baseline, I can let it talk through my knees, make the block feel right every time that I freeze. They be talking online, I let the number just show. When I'm stepping on stage, I let the energy glow. I'm the one that you imitate when they rehearse in the mirror. I'm the voice in the noise, making everything clearer. We came from late night dreams on a milk crate seat. Had to fight for the mic, now they feel my reach. From the stoop to the lights, every bill got heat. I'm the storm in the clouds when they feel my beat. No warning, we just slide through.
Trap city, boom bap.
What the vibe do? From the block to the booth, let the light move.
the world saying damn.
What a knockout.
From the A-train rumble to the speakers that thump. We turn hand-me-down dreams to the keys to the trunk. From the hallway echoes with the fees just a bump. To the sold-out shows, every scream is a jump.
From the late night hustle on the block in the cold to the flights cross seas with the watch all go. From the tears in the dark when the path got close to the lights on our name that I passed they bow. When the bass line knock, let it ride.
Yeah.
When the snare clap back, let it slide. If you came from the bottom, let it ride.
Yeah.
If you feel what we saying, let it shine. No warning, we just slide through.
Trap City, boom bap.
What the vibe do? From the block to the booth, let the light move.
From the dark to the view.
On the high roof, no warning, we just pop out.
Memphis juking on the curb.
Bring the stomp out. Every side of the map when we walk out.
Got the world saying damn.
What a knockout. No warning, we just came with the wave now.
Every corner that we touch.
It's a playground.
From the struggle to the stage.
See us stay down.
What's the Z?
Chocolate diva, that's the name now.
We are in the form of a struggle in which we will win. And one of the struggles is to make us aware of the fantastic capacity and potential that lay in our world. The Moorish story is one of the most hopeful stories on earth. Who are these Moors? The word Moor comes from Moris, which means dark, which the Greeks used, and then the Romans made it Mori, and then some people say it also came from Mero. Moor came from Mero. When Shakespeare uses it, he means black, whether it is Othello or whether it is the figure Titus Andronicus.
Yo, son of the wars, star sign Taurus, roots in the sand like the eye of Horus, pyramid vision, kick snare hitting, truth go pop, this is more than a gimmick, stories from my hot stoma, bloodline long like a catacomb, year of the turning, wisdom I'm earning, not dance with the flame, but I'm done with the burning, got the melanin humming when the drums get to moving, ancient in the soul, every bar revolution, I see the light, the right path I'm choosing, third eye open so I'm done with the losing, on the born winner, washed off the sinner, feast on the beat like I'm blessing my dinner, dropped off the path and my spirit got thinner, rose from the dust, now my halo shimmer, done with confusion, back from the bruising, God in my chest, that's the truest conclusion, saw through the veil of the mental intrusion, chains on my mind was a Moorish illusion, but now I see it, I'm God, I believe it, I'm a revolutionary, borders, I leave it, no cheap tricks, I don't chase no ticket, won't sell soul for a 5-star visit, and the future's scary, our archives prepare me, scrolls in my hand as the ages get near me, they don't care, got us fighting for a share, while kings in the shadows never play fair, got us hypnotized by the fake gold glare, monopolize skies while we fight for the air, they keep us in the pits, but I see through the trips, blocked from the sun like a solar eclipse, now I glow brightly, I hold the mic tightly, names of my elders in my heart guide me, steer from the truth is highly unlikely, speaking this truth make the sleepers wanna fight me, yo. My history, they kept it a mystery. I opened my eyes and I read through the literacy. Tracked down the line from the coast to the dynasty. Rule with the Jews, crown fools, that's the irony. They take the taxes while we live in poverty. Feeding off pain, still they call that economy. They sit back and chill, toast up at the comedy. Markers with brands while they feast on the misery. Caught in the dream, I need to open my eyes. Trapped in the maze in this world full of lies. They know that they're falling, pulling down as they rise. They control the story so we don't hear the cries. Check, so we don't hear the cries.
I won't fall for the light.
Check.
I won't fall for the light.
Check.
I won't fall for the light. Queen from the coast, gold dust on my shoulders, anks on my chain, ancestors getting closer. I walk through Granada, echoes in the water, palaces and gardens where they hid our daughters. Silk in the halls, mapped on the walls, books in the stacks that predicted the falls. They dimmed our flame, tried to bury our name, but the Moorish blood still runs in the veins. I am the cipher, singer and writer. Brown skin glow, I'm a cosmic fighter. Every little curl in my hair is a scripture. Every freckle on my face, that's a very picture. They say forget, but my spirit remember. 771 from the heat to December. From the ports of the west to the sands of the east, we were building up the schools while they pray for a feast. I'm the echo of Janet, Sandcore scholar, brown-eyed goddess in the silk trim collar. Ink on my fingers, stars in my speech. What they call the fringes, the core that I teach. I'm the bad, I'm the scene, I'm the healing in the spring. I'm the song that the caravans forever want to sing. They crossed our lands with the sword and the cross, but every lost book is a verse in my gloss.
Listen, Mr. Z on the side of my stride. 2 crowns up when the worlds collide. We the dusk, we the dawn, we the in-between shine. Turned Moorish dust into Moorish design. They try to write us out in the margin of the page, but my chocolate tone is a royal outrage. Every note I belt is a brick in the dome. We ain't lost, baby, we just coming back home. Check.
I'm the truth in your eyes.
Check.
I'm the storm in the sky.
Check.
I'm the one they despise, 'cause I don't fall for the lies.
But remember when it became a time in 156,
After we lost power in Spain,
the Africans ruled Spain from 7-11. We were calling ourselves Moors.
M-A-U-R-S.
And M-O-O-R-S.
From 7-11 until 4285, 774 years.
When we brought into Europe the university system, building the University of Salamanca in Spain.
A copy of the University of Genforet.
We are in the form of a struggle in which we will win. And one of the struggles is to make us aware of the fantastic capacity and potential that lay in our world. The Moorish story is one of the most hopeful stories on earth. Who are these Moors? The word Moor comes from Moris, which means dark, which the Greeks used, and then the Romans made it Mori. And then some people say it also came from Mero. Moor came from Mero. When Shakespeare uses it, he means black. Whether it is Othello, or whether it is the figure Titus, Andronicus. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Woo. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Son of the war, star sign Taurus. Watch me get deep with the ancient chorus. Pyramid symbol, kick, snare symbol. Truth gon' pop, this is more than the jingle. Stories from my Soma. Bloodline strong like a Coma. Yeah, for the learning, wisdom I'm earning. Stare back the flame, but I keep from the burning. Got the melanin shimmering soul in the rhythm. Tapping the source of ancestral vision. I hear the drums that in the transmission. Third eye focused on the Moorish mission. And I'm on the winner, no longer a sinner. Still yam up this beat like I'm crushing my dinner. Put the mask to the side, spirit got thinner. Broke from the spell, rose up from the inner. Used to run from the mirror, ducking my image, now God in my heart, that's my true village. Shook off the chains of mental pillage. Rebirth mine from colonial spillage. Now I see it, I'm God. I can be it, revolution breathing every time that I speak it. Not an MP, can't lobby or tweak it, but I won't sell soul just to flash a new ticket. And the future's scary, research prepare me. Maps of the past, put the courage in me clearly. Reason for I being coded in the stairway. Give to the stars when the night falls barely, but we don't care. Got us chasing the share, fighting for crumbs in the rig solitaire. They pull strings from invisible chairs. Banknotes float while they auction our prayers. Hypnotized by the goat to jail square. Board game rules keep us stuck in despair. They rise high while we stuck in the lair. Dust in the lungs, still we gasping for air. kept in the pits, but I see through the tricks. Scrolls in the soul like hieroglyph scripts, blocked from the light like a solar eclipse. But I cracked that sky with these Moorish clips. Now I shine brightly, I hold the mic tightly, ancient in my veins and my heart rides beside me. Straight from the truth is highly unlikely. Speech from my chest make the lukewarm spite me. Oh, my history, they kept it the mystery. Switched out the names, tried to cut out the victory, pulled down the banners, rewrote the liturgy, but still I can trace every line of our synergy. Realize the enemy systems of monarchy, crowns made of debt, gold teeth in the oligarchy. Rule with the jewels, woo fools, mockery, flooding every screen with a scripted comedy. They take the taxes while we starve in poverty, dress up the theft like civic camaraderie. Sit back and chill, treat pain like a novelty, feast on our fear, still they call it economy.
Caught in the dream, but I'm cracking my eyes. Woke in a cell in a world built on lies. They know they sinking, dragging us as the prize, flooding our feet so we miss all the cries. Check, so we don't hear the cries. Check, they don't want us to rise. Check, but I sharpen my mind. Check, I rearrange the sky. Chocolate diva with the Moorish flame, cocoa skin glow, royal in my veins. Castro rhythm when I chant my name. I walk in the halls where my foremothers reign. Queens of the water, sand and the stone, braids like rivers, crowned like a throne. Sing for the lost ones trapped in the phone, scroll after scroll till they souls fell alone.
I bring the remedy, melody, therapy, brown sugar tone, cut through the hegemony, humming from the root like a healing ceremony. Piano loop sweet while the bass rides steadily. I'm that sister with the maps and the stars, tracing our steps from the deserts to Mars. When they said lesser, I doubled my bars, turned every scar to a necklace of stars. They tried to buy me in designer illusion, filters and likes as a subtle intrusion, but I see through every tailored confusion. Love is my weapon, I refuse their delusion.
I won't fall for the lies. I won't cry for the prize.
I keep my eyes on the skies.
I keep the truth in my cries.
From 7-Eleven to the present day streets,
We carry that torch and the drum and the beat.
they cut out our chapters from history sheets.
But we write them back every time that we speak.
More much in the mind of the science and art.
Architecture of the soul, every brick from the heart.
Yo, calculus, maps, golden age charts.
Flow through my veins like celestial sparks.
They built borders.
Over there, the sky is low. Gather up, it's time, thank God. With grateful eyes.
Yeah,
Mr. Z,
chocolate diva.
Mr. Z,
Look,
Mr. Chocolate Diva.
for the ones.
This one's for the streets, for my people who breathe.
For the ones staying strong with the hope they believe.
For the ones in the slums, every day they overcome.
For the ones feeling lost but still raising their young.
For the sisters and moms working hard for the fun.
3 ships in a row till your fingers go numb.
They've been holding us down, but we rise when we drum.
We gotta get wise, feel the power that comes. 9 to 5 on the grind just to stay in the race. But for a long time now, I've been feeling displaced, like I'm stuck in a loop. See the doubt in my face. Watch the clock on the wall, feel it laughing in place. I see the TV screen flashing, suit with the case. Know I paid for that war, see my tax in that waste. Facts on facts, talk collapse of the banks. We depart on the floor while they walk in the planks. They drag us back, right lost for the trap. Same chains, new names, but the weight on our back. Dig in the books, found the truth in the maps. How they split up the world, how they covered the tracks. 1492, they rewrote all the views. Now we live in the result of the lies they infuse. So I speak on the pain, gotta train. Following the trail that they buried in Spain.
This one's for the streets, for my people who breathe.
For the ones staying strong with the hope they believe.
For the ones in the slums, every day they overcome.
For the ones feeling lost but still raising their own.
For the sisters and moms working hard for the fun.
3 shifts in a row till your fingers go numb.
They've been holding us down, but we rise when we drum.
We gotta get wise,
Feel the power that comes.
As I walk through the city where the shadows collect, take a look at this world, feel the weight on my chest. Every job, every check, got us fighting for breath. All work, no rest. Put our spirit to test. Is it really a test? If it is, what's next? I know I'm still blessed, but my thoughts get vexed. Play this game in the maze where they raising the rent. Feeling pain every day, wonder where it all went. My thoughts guided by love, plus supply. So I let the hurt go, open up my third eye. Now my heart stand true, I ain't scared to defy. I won't bow to the cold, twisted tales of a lie.
I wanna call them out while they walking on high. That's why you let it burn, while you bleeding it dry. When you taken from the earth, can you hear when we cry?
When the light's in your chest, while you look to the sky.
For the streets, for my people who grieve.
For the ones staying strong with the hope they believe.
For the ones in the slums, every day they overcome.
For the ones feeling lost, but still raising their young.
For the sisters and moms working hard for the fun.
3 shifts in a row till your fingers go numb.
They've been holding us down, but we rise when we drum.
You gotta get wise
till the power comes.
I'm sick of the sick of the rich, getting richer. Every corner that I turn, see the same cold picture. Same speech, same greed, same script that they picture. Break free from the frame, let the truth hit the mixture. I'm iller than iller, from the block to the city. Turning pain into poems, turn my grit into pretty. Bow down to the ghost of the ones who were witty, who survived through the fire, so our hearts stay gritty.
I'm sick of the sick of the tricks. I got a venomous flow, drop a verse like a cliff. Take the mic, take the stage, take the mask off the myth. Broke this bar at the bus on my way to the ship.
See, they try to keep it quiet.
They afraid of our words, cause they know we spark riots.
They try to cut the wire,
but the beat come back and the voice rise higher.
They try to mute the choir,
but the streets sing loud and the drums breathe fire.
These ones for the streets, for my people who breathe. For the ones staying strong,
with the hope they believe. For the ones in the slums, every day they overcome.
For the ones feeling lost, but still raising their young.
For the sisters and moms working hard for the fun.
3 shifts in a row,
till your fingers go numb.
They've been holding us down,
but we rise when we drum.
We gotta get wise,
feel the power that comes.
This one's for the streets.
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 It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth, banks are going bust, shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and nobody anywhere seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe. Our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad, they're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radials, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not gonna leave you alone.
I want you to get mad. I want you to get mad.
Time is now, so look up to the sky. World of corruption, man, is going on side. We escape the truth by just getting high. Get transfixed by the things that provide. It's all over the pyramid that I see the truth, but won't let it ignite. Won't let in the light. No longer cry about God in my heart. Won't let me die. I'm blessed with the skill of a cool technician. I make you see right like an optician. Better be blue to make that decision. With words of demons and on collision all over the place. It's right in your face. Home of the brave, like in the days. You see the set is the start of a race. Divide and conquer, they won't leave a trace.
Now you listen to me. Listen to me. Television is not the truth. Television is a goddamned amusement park. Television is a circus, a carnival, A traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We're in the boredom killing business. So if you want the truth, go to God, go to your gurus, go to yourself. Go to yourself.
Feel I can't move, feel so unsure. Feel like I'm playing a game, but I don't know the score. Like my heart's gonna fall out all over the floor. Feel like I'm added to some kind of war. What do I do? But it feels so untrue. Feels like I'm pressing buttons, but I ain't got a clue. It's like I'm lost in the mist. Don't wonder that I'm pissed. I got this tension building up, that's why I'm clenching my fist. But how am I gonna release? I'm trying to find me a peace. I'm trying to find myself in this world full of beats. So I turn to the light. Help find me the night. Help visualize my dreams and help bring them into sight. It's like I'm elevated up another level from my height. No strings attached.
Nah.
Ain't no cut. You can try it all you want. You can try with all your might. I've been verbally abused all the way down for a fight.
There are no nations. There are no peoples. There are no Russians. There are no Arabs. There are no third worlds. There is no West. There is only one holistic system of systems. One vast, animate, interwoven, interacting, multivariate, multinational dominion of dollars, petrodollars, electrodollars, multi-dollars, Reichsmarks, rins, rubles, pounds, and shekels. Imagine they had a plan. All of this was part of a divine plan. Get this what come about. The Moors then had a plan for a new world order. A one world, new world order. That was a Moor's plan originally. The Europeans inherited that plan through the Masonic Lodge.
Yeah, see it's a sign of the time. Conspiracy to overthrow the mind. Behind every fortune is a crime. Dark forces are on the climb. Weight kept in the pits of the underworld decline. Soon they'll start to charge for the sunshine. Zen is the war, but the sun's fine. They make all the laws and the war crimes. Seems only the poor are the ones dying. I ain't lying. Hell no, won't bow to the elitists. Heart's too big and I won't let them defeat us. They can delete us, hold us down and mistreat us. My head's full of knowledge, so I grow with the deepness. I flow sickly. Government sick of me exposing the truth about the lies and the trickery. See, they're the minority. They know this, so they oppress the majority. For the salary, borderline insanity. All I see is the ego and vanity. So I look to the enemy for clarity. All we need is some wisdom and stability. And that's the real in me. How you feeling me? If we wake up, then all of us will be free. But while it's dream time, that's the way that it's gonna be. And it's a shame, cause they see what we let them see. Will he ever be a tree? Oh yo, won't let them mow me. Wise to the plan, no they can't control me. I might be skinny and bony, but they still love to clone me. I'm a one-man army that will never get lonely. I'm true to the game, I can never be a phony. Go sell your souls to your Virgin and Sony. Always on time, I don't need no rollie. Step back in mind to move more slowly. I'm blessed with skill, lyrically I kill. Flow so cold, I spit with a chill. Now I know the truth, I won't rest until I open your eyes and you pop that pill. So enter my thoughts, let's go for a walk. Try and teach and hope that you're taught. I'll show you signs and language that they draw. How they own governments, TVs, and courts. So please, will you lend me an ear? Wanna take you on a journey and it's filled with fear. Gonna get deep in your mind, shed a tear. It'll all make sense by the end of the year. It's like, please, can I lend you my eyes? Help you see through the mist and the truth from the lies. Cause there's things that you miss that might take you by surprise. Put the truth in your heart and the love will arise.
The European Masons who run this government, who run the international scene, that they under certain oaths and obligations to certain things that they can't do, to certain things that they can't speak on. They're functioning more or less in a custodial capacity or fiduciary capacity. They were made custodians when we were fallen from power. We said, all right, you see this throne? We're going to make you custodians of this throne. You're going to become the keepers of the light, not the bearers of the light. We was the bearers of the light. We was the one who was able to actually go out there and re-educate the whole human family of the planet Earth history of dealing with the ancient Moors during the time of ancient Kemet. Who was the Moors at that time? This is what people don't understand. What is known as ancient Kemet, which is Kamat, is the capital empire of the Moorish Empire. That's what you need to know. We're one and the same people. Our concepts are wrong because we keep dividing ourselves against each other as if you're different.
Over there, the sky is low. Gather up, it's time in God's with grateful eyes. Yo. Yeah.
I'm blowing things up like cheddar, sent from the underground just to bring terror. Sick mic wrecker, true trendsetter, UK hip-hop, new pop stepper. Yeah, everybody better. After a brandy and a few cans of Stella, fake MCs are getting locked in my cellar. Cut up my words then a hella, cop to propeller, microphone killer, baseline filler. I'm great dealer, nobody realer. When I'm set on stage, shows like Thriller in Manila. Anything for nothing, heart for the thriller. Lyrics so cold they make man shiver. It's freeze, not thriller. Fake MCs getting dashed in the river. My time's a shine. Spit bars, you boys spit rhymes. Seen friends lose lives. Man's in the streets carrying gaps and knives. Man's doing time for committing petty crimes. That's street life, it ain't nice. When I clash, think twice, go home and revise. Your flow's full of lies. I can see it in your eyes. All you do is criticize. All I see is the snakish lies. I've no time for these kind of guys. Full of hate, but there's no surprise. Yo, step up, my friend, no need to pretend. I swear, don't care if this friendship ends. Gone too far, it's too late to mend. It's broke, a real friendship bends. I know I didn't do you no wrong, and I know it wasn't me that broke that bond. Right now, I really ain't fun, so I had to put my feelings in the song. No long, but you have been going on stinking just like a sewer. Let me get to the point, just like a skewer. Must be a reason why I've seen you fewer. Look steam lately, like you're caught in the heat. Me, I love my own company, so I'm okay, G. Keep to myself is best for my health, so a man like me is moving in stealth. All you do is criticize. All I see is the snakish eyes. I've no time for these kind of guys. Full of hate, but there's no surprise. All I see is the snakish lies. I've no time for these kind of guys. Full of hate, but there's no surprise. Look, I'm not having it. Show me the microphone and I'm grabbing it, smacking it, attacking it. Beef, I'm backing it. One excess words and so you're having it. I open my mouth and out comes lava. Pass me the beat is no long palaver. Like a broken tap, you can't stop the water. Flow like rain, get caught in my shower. 16s on any kind of beating, eat them, beat them, fire. I've got to reach them. No longer go par with them fake men. Don't need enemies, too many fake friends. Yes to the hey, know that I'm great. Had a dream like Martin, changing my fate. No time to fake, I'm telling you straight. The force of my words make the earth shake. We're against all odds, but we've got hearts up in two minds like Leicester. Connected, best pals, red blood, do we keep it moving? What I feel in the scene is fake. Followed by brothers and suckers who hate. And I'm that brother who aims, doesn't do anything that I don't weigh. But my blood pulling music game, been doing it from day. You're much more than a thing, I'm a born survivor. Yeah, I'm a rider, streetwise, alright. Call me a provider, I'll guide you. We live in brick and ride. Connected, yo, come criticize. All you do is criticize. All I see is the snakish eyes. I've no time for these kind of guys. Full of hate, but there's no surprise. All I see is the snakish eyes. I've no time for these kind of guys. Full of hate, but there's no surprise.
Serious. Serious.
So let's get into it. First getting grim. He's on my back, trying to make me sin. I won't let him win. He's in my sight, turn my vision glass, guided by the light, which shines bright like a sun's beam. Open up my heart, awake from this dream. This view's new, so we've been there. Hearts were too cold and we didn't care. Forces getting low, feel it in my guts, in the world of hate. I ain't got no cuts, more than physical. This sickness is spiritual. Bow to the east, ask God for a miracle. So many rituals on this page on TV. No wonder it feels like the darkness getting near me. But I don't fear to state this clearly. Open my heart and I'm on my journey. Lord save me in pain daily. Dark in the light and the view so amazing. Driving me crazy, sick of being lazy. For all I had to do was find a job that pays me. I see a slavery, so filled with the bravery. I give thanks and I pray to the one that made me. I've been feeling lately, got me feeling great. So I stick on this path, boy, wherever it takes me. I'm on this path and I feel alone. Know there'll be a day when we'll be on the throne. Transport my thoughts, leave this skin and bone. Guided to the light where only chosen roam. I'm in the zone and we're getting deep. Open up my eyes, awake from the sleep. He charged my soul, now I'm no longer weak. There's a pride in my tongue, you can hear it as I speak. It's like beat, let it guide it. Turn the guide that can't hoodwink me. No, I can't be blinded. Always alert like I ain't got no eyelid. I'm the eye in the sky like the eye of Osiris. Got the golden touch, call me King Midas. Can't hold me down cause I'm a born survivor. Venomous spit like cobra saliva. Lyrics flutter like butterflies when I'm inside the fire. Fire with fire. Can't preach to the choir. Before all of this I was about to retire. Now my passion is higher. Stay clear from the fire. Can't wait for the fall of the empire. So I reach my words like a freak on the curb. I get deep on the herb that like blind and disturbed. Pray that I'm heard and we box like a nerd. I got this knowledge in my head like I died and returned.
You said if there's more quantitative easing, one more round.
I have nothing but respect for all.
It is the end, and it is the end of the dollar. Are you still so convinced that it's just one more round?
The next time, yes, I think it's the end. It's the end. When the world at large sees that they're going to go back to QE, it's over. In my opinion, it's over. You would have to be an absolute idiot to continue to hold U.S. treasuries when they're printing money at those levels one more time. Because I don't think next time it's going to have the same efficacy as it's had before. The game is going to be up. When that recession hits, and it will hit, a lot of things are going to unwind. A lot of things. Because the debt will start to make it unwind. And that's everything. Crypto, tech, you name it, everything's going to come crashing down.
Including gold initially?
I think gold initially, yeah. Monetary system is in huge trouble. And now when I say huge, I'm talking about double D huge trouble, debt and derivatives. It's too levered, it's too interconnected, and it's too opaque. And so you've got this situation where we're going to have a reset, okay? And fiat currencies are on their way out.
President Trump keeps talking about Fort Knox. The Treasury Secretary keeps being asked to reassure Americans that the gold is there. Rand Paul has now physically gone inside to see it. We've got both chambers of Congress pushing legislation demanding a proper audit. Why are we suddenly talking about gold so much? What is your read on this?
We're repositioning where gold is going to play a monetary role. It's no longer fringe theory. It's here. It's arrived. And it'll happen in the next 5 years, in my opinion.
You're saying if there's an extraordinary amount of money being created like we had in 2009 after the 2008 financial crisis, like we had in 2020 with COVID, the big print, as it's been called, you say it's over. What does over mean?
The next time, yes, I think it's the end. It's the end.
Why would it not just look bad, but kick the can down the road a little bit? Why is this the definitive end of the road?
Own physical gold, like the physical stuff. And I'm not talking ETFs, I'm not talking about trading in the markets. Own physical gold. It's your only protection.
But what would have to happen to derail this? Is there anything that can happen over the next 3 to 5 years for you to say, I was wrong? I was wrong about the dollar, or at least I was wrong for now.
This is The Real Story with Michelle McCory.
Hello, I'm Michelle McCory. Thank you so much for joining us here on The Real Story, where we go beyond the headlines, beneath the surface and behind the curtain to show you what is really happening with money, markets, and power. And my guest today was one of the very first to warn that the global monetary system was beginning to split. Years ago, he argued that the pillars of the dollar-based world were cracking and that gold would ultimately re-enter the monetary system. Frank Gistra is very well known to many in the gold and mining world. He is one of Canada's most successful entrepreneurs. He founded Lionsgate Entertainment and helped to build it into a global entertainment company. And he has also spent decades financing and launching some of the most significant mining companies of the last 3 decades. His contributions to business and philanthropy have earned him some of Canada's highest honors. He's a member of both the Order of Canada and the Order of British Columbia. He's also the former co-chair of the International Crisis Group, one of the world's leading conflict prevention organizations. He's currently the CEO of the Fiore Group, and throughout his career, he has had his finger on the pulse of some of the biggest economic and geopolitical shifts. Frank, good to have you. Welcome back to The Real Story.
Nice to see you again, Michelle.
All right, Frank, that was the abridged version. Your bio far extends that, but we want to get into the meat of this conversation because we have a lot of ground to cover today. And Frank, I want to start with Fort Knox because America's gold reserves are suddenly getting an extraordinary amount of attention. President Trump has repeatedly raised the issue publicly, and this really all started gaining momentum in February of last year when Elon Musk publicly questioned whether the gold was actually there. President Trump then picked up the issue himself, saying that he and Musk wanted to go to Fort Knox, see if the gold is there. They were going to live stream it. It didn't happen. He did say we were going to go to Fort Knox, the fabled Fort Knox, to make sure the gold is there. Those are his words. Then we had Treasury Secretary send anything to put some of those concerns to rest. He said that the gold is audited every year. He insisted that all the gold is present and accounted for. President Trump raised Fort Knox again just a few months ago, May 2026, in an interview with Cheryl Atkinson. He was asked what happened to the proposed audit. Trump said that he still wanted to go and knock on the door and see whether the gold was there. He still wanted Fort Knox. He said, I'm sure it will be there. And then we had Treasury Secretary Bessent again addressing this in July on a Fox News interview. He said that while he personally had not been inside Fort Knox, members of his staff had, including the U.S. Treasurer. And once again, his message was unequivocal. He says the nation's gold reserves at Fort Knox are fully accounted for. And he emphasized that the U.S. still holds the world's largest official gold stockpile. And now, Frank, we have Senator Rand Paul saying he has actually gone inside and is confirming that the gold is there. On Monday, August 10, Senator Paul toured Fort Knox. He emerged saying, yes, the gold is there. Roughly 147 million ounces of it that are supposed to be in Fort Knox. Keep in mind, the rest of the gold is stored elsewhere. So a lot of talk on Fort Knox. Let's play those clips.
Fort Knox, we've come to see the gold. Our country has about 147 million ounces of gold, and about half of it is stored here at Fort Knox. We're going to be going deep underground to see the gold. But more importantly, we're going to be talking today about what happened to our dollar when we separated from gold in 1971. Over 85% of the value of the dollar has been lost since we delinked from gold. So there is a problem. The media now calls this affordability. But what it really is inflation. We run a debt. As the deficit runs up, $2 trillion a year. Part of that debt is bought by the Federal Reserve with newly created dollars. This leads to inflation and prices are up. And my goodness, just go to the grocery store, still look at the price of meat. Prices are up 25% in the last 5 years. It's inflation. It's related to deficit spending. It's related to unbalanced budgets. So we're going to look at the gold today, but really what we're talking about is why is our paper currency failing us, and why does our country continue to run such massive debts? I'm going down underground, and I'll let you know what I see in a little bit. Thanks.
Have you visited Fort Knox?
I haven't. People on my staff has. We're going to the Treasurer's office. The Treasurer has been to Fort Knox. I am happy to say all gold is present and accounted for. The U.S. has the largest pile of gold in the world, over $1 trillion at current market value.
And we're getting more gold from Venezuela, I hear.
We're getting a lot from Venezuela. We're getting gold. These oil sales are going great. It's going back to the Venezuelan people.
What happened to the audit of Fort Knox? Which one are you talking about?
There was, I think when you first got into office, you and Elon Musk talked about auditing.
Well,
the
we
gold
wanted to
make
go
sure it's
knock
there.
on the door, Fort Knox, very thick door, and to see whether or not we have any gold in there, you know, because we take a look at it. It's a very interesting question, yeah. We played with that. I wonder if they left the gold in Fort Knox, because they steal a lot.
No need to really do that, though?
Well, I don't know. I think it's... I do want to go to Fort Knox sometime. I want to see if the gold is there, which I'm sure it will be.
All right, so Frank, Rand Paul emerged saying, yes, the gold is there, 147 million ounces. It's impressive. Now, of course, the senator walking through Fort Knox and looking at the gold is not a comprehensive independent audit, not at all. Just looking at stacks of gold doesn't quite cut it. To have a real audit, you need independently verifying inventory, weighing and assaying the gold, verifying that none of it has been leased, swapped, hypothecated or otherwise encumbered. We can get into that in a bit. Just for some background, there was a limited congressional inspection of Fort Knox in September of 1974. The government has conducted some verification procedures since then, but critics continue to argue that there has not been the kind of audit necessary. And it's interesting because there is now legislation in both chambers of Congress, aimed at requiring a comprehensive independent audit of America's gold reserves. Look, here is the thing that really strikes me, Frank. Why are we having this conversation at all? President Trump keeps talking about Fort Knox. The Treasury Secretary keeps being asked to reassure Americans that the gold is there. Rand Paul has now physically gone inside to see it. We've got both chambers of Congress pushing legislation demanding a proper audit. Why are we suddenly talking about gold so much? What is your read on this?
Well, first of all, I think, it was the fact that Rand Paul managed to count 147 million ounces in a matter of 2 hours. It's quite impressive. I think what he was doing was more of a PR stunt, using Fort Knox as a prop to talk about how the dollar has been devalued since 1971 when we went off the gold standard. So that was the main purpose. I don't think he really went in there and counted gold bars. I'm sure he had to look around the room. As you said, a proper audit hasn't been done since 1974. And in 1974, they only tested about 21% of the bars. And now here's the important part. 1974 was before all of these new mechanisms, swaps, leases, futures came into play. The COMEX launched his futures gold contracts in December of 1974, okay? The swaps and leases and all types of other ways to hypothecate gold didn't come in to play until the late 80s, mid to late 80s. So there was a lot of time for the Treasury since then, in the last few decades, to do a lot of damage to the ownership of that gold if they chose to for whatever reason. So I think that the fact that the Government Accountability Office has been demanding a proper audit, an external audit, verified, independent, and hasn't received one, has to tell you something, because it's not rocket science to do an audit. It's not going to cost a lot of money to go in there, do a proper audit, independent, verified by an external player. And so you have to ask yourself, why? Why, after making, as you mentioned, after making all of that noise about Musk and Trump and everybody claiming that they're going to go do knock on the door, see if the gold is there or not there, and then all of a sudden it's crickets. They don't even talk about it anymore. Now it's starting to come back into the conversation. But it always makes me wonder, what are the motivations of not doing an audit? Why would they not? So I've asked myself that question. And I think there's a couple of possible answers. One is that the U.S. since 1971 has gone to great lengths to undermine the value of gold, to suggest that gold was worthless, that, so that the dollar would be seen as the premier currency, and gold really doesn't have any value in today's world. So they've gone out of their way to undermine the gold price, to tarnish its reputation. And now to come forward and to start to talk about the gold and the value of that gold may raise a few questions. And the first question I would ask is, well, okay, now you're going to put the spotlight on gold. There's only about $1 trillion worth of gold there. How does that play into a world where the U.S. debt load is 40 trillion, growing at over $2 trillion a year. What's $1 trillion worth of gold? So it might raise that conversation, which I'm sure they don't really want to talk about, because there's either not enough gold to deal with the problem, or you're going to need a much higher price for gold for it to play any role as any kind of backing for a currency. So those are probably the main reasons. Now there's another reason, which is remote, and I'm not advocating that it's a reason, but if I were the U.S. government, I would be buying gold like crazy right now. I would be printing all of that funny money, as much of it as possible, and buying gold. They have the printing machine, they have the global reserve currency, they could do it. Maybe they are doing it. I think it's a remote possibility, but certainly what I would do. So you always have to ask yourself why. What's the motivation? And I think that they've tried to gaslight their way around doing an audit, and it's there. We sent people this and that, and it's not true. They haven't done an audit. Scott Bessent there said in that interview, it's simply not true. They haven't done a proper audit. So again, when the government is dealing with currency issues, traditionally you can't take their word for anything. They never tell you the truth or disclose what they're doing when they're dealing with their currency management strategies. Never. They never have. No government ever has. They don't talk to the public about these things. So whatever is going on behind the scenes, you have to ask yourself, there's something else going on.
Okay. To me, it seems as though they're not avoiding the conversation. Maybe they're avoiding the actual audit, but to me, it seems, again, that we're just hearing a lot about gold from this administration, from the fact that, President Trump said he who has the gold makes the rule, the golden rule of negotiation. Percent to self-proclaimed gold said that he wanted to participate in some kind of Bretton Woods realignment. There were so many comments there. The Fed released some paper looking at how other countries have revalued their gold. It seems to me.
But they've denied that they're going to revalue the gold. Scott Bessent has come out and said, no, that's not in my playbook at the moment.
He did say that, you're quite correct. And there was some talk that he was going to monetize the asset side of the balance sheet, and then he walked that back.
That's right.
But there's just a lot of chatter about gold. And, for decades, gold was essentially treated as a monetary relic. The U.S. closed the gold window in 1971. We live in a fiat monetary system. And yet suddenly Washington seems extraordinarily interested in exactly how much gold America owns and whether it's really there. Does that not signal to you that maybe Washington is beginning to view gold as a strategic asset, particularly in a world of rising central bank purchases and growing geopolitical fragmentation? And I won't get into this idea that there could be more gold there, but in terms of the narrative, what does that tell you?
Well, I'm sure they're discussing it. I'm sure they're concerned about it. I'm sure it's a topic of conversation in internal conversations. What they don't want to do is spook the public, because the minute you start to give gold credence, people start to ask questions about the dollar. And then, like I said earlier, there's a question, and there's a secondary and a third question about, well, do we have enough? Is it priced appropriately for it to actually play a role? So I'm sure it is the topic of conversation. But again, why won't they do the audit?
When I say 90% of OPEC's money is on deposit in the United States Bank, I'm talking about over $1 trillion. I didn't say millions. I did not say billions. I said over $1 trillion is on deposit in major United States banks by OPEC countries. Yeah, buddy. Now, so you'll understand how this works. It's deep here because the OPEC countries got their money on deposit in the United States, but the United States is not a member of OPEC. Y'all starting to see the problem now, aren't you?
Why? It's a very simple, it's not rocket science.
Well, what if we'll go with option 3, and that there is, in fact, more gold there than what is supposed to be there. And there are some conspiracy theories, shall we say, that the U.S. has Gaddafi's gold as well as Saddam Hussein's gold, and may also be secretly purchasing gold. Now, just for background for our viewers, Gaddafi had amassed around 143 tons of gold physically held in Libya, and he was working on launching a pan-African gold-backed currency, the so-called gold dinar. That was a way to push Africa off the dollar and the euro systems. Now, that would have been a very big threat to the petrodollar system, and we will get into that. And then NATO-backed interventions in 2011, and of Gaddafi, the gold disappeared. Now, some of it may have been smuggled out. A large portion has never been fully accounted for. Same goes for Saddam Hussein. By 2000, he started selling Iraqi oil in euros instead of dollars. That was another serious challenge to the U.S. dollar, the petrodollar. And then after the 2003 invasion, U.S. forces secured Iraq's central bank, recovered about 100 tons of gold. That gold was supposedly handed over to Iraqi authorities. Again, we don't know. So we have these theories.
You're reading the article I wrote on the petrodollar. Everything you just said there was in my article about Iraq, Libya, Iran, Venezuela too as well. But listen, you know, in terms of the physical gold being there, both Germany and France had a difficult time repatriating their gold from the New York vaults. It took Germany 7 years after they initially asked to get their gold. France went through a similar gymnastics to try and get their gold repatriated. And Germany couldn't, the Bundesbank could not verify that their physical gold was there. They were not permitted to go look at their own gold in the New York vault. So it's got to tell, there's so many of these issues there that you have to ask yourself, is our gold intermingled? You know, are we counting the gold twice? But the most likely answer to all of this, the most likely, what it most likely is that it's been pledged, hypothecated, loaned, swapped, and there's documentation that the gold might be sitting there, but who has ownership of it? And that's the part that a proper audit would reveal.
Let's go with option 3 and explore that a little bit more. That, in fact, there has been some covert shadow program to buy gold. You're printing fiat. Why wouldn't you buy gold? In fact, Andy Schechtman has suggested that he thinks that's what's going on, especially when you look at some record levels of gold being exported, or rather imported into the country. There is a way to do this through the Exchange Stabilization Fund, where the Treasury Secretary can authorize this, and you have to tell Congress at some point, but not immediately. I mean, if you were the U.S. government, wouldn't you be buying gold? I mean, let's explore option 3 that you think could be happening.
That's exactly right, because that's the logical thing to do. You think about it. You're printing money that is worthless, because you can print infinite amounts of money. You have the world's reserve currency. But you know you're in trouble. The currency's in trouble. The treasury market's in trouble. The yen carry trade is now having an impact on U.S. treasuries, and the rates are going through the roof because of the pressure of foreign sales of U.S. treasuries. So you're facing some sort of a fiscal and monetary cliff. What would you do? I would be, if I had the reserve currency and the printing machine, that's exactly what I would do. So yes, and as you said, what Andy Schechtman said, yeah, in the first quarter of last year, 2025, records amount of gold were coming in from London into New York, like millions and millions of ounces. We don't know who bought them. It could have been investors, it could have been banks, it could have been the government. You just don't know because it's such an opaque system.
But okay, let me put it to you this way. I mean, for years you have argued that gold will become part of a new monetary global system. You have said that we're seeing the bifurcation of the global system. You've been quite right in how that's played out. We're seeing these parallel financial architectures being built. You called it. You said that gold would overtake U.S. dollar-denominated assets held by central banks. That just happened. Mm-hmm. Gold is now held by more gold is held by central banks than U.S. treasuries. And, if you're thinking this, surely people in the Trump administration are also strategizing for the day that they don't want it. They're trying to prevent it. They're trying to kick the can down the road. But surely they're also strategizing for the day that gold re-enters the system. And surely they're also aware of China buying gold at record levels. I mean, it seems plausible to me that, I mean, I'd like to hope that there's some competence and somebody's game playing accordingly. What do you think?
Well, I think you're right. I think that, again, it's the logical thing you would do, and you would not disclose it, because if you disclosed it in any way or admitted it, gold would go through the roof. It's, you know, it's like I've always said, when you know, I started my life as a trader, and when you're accumulating a position, the last thing you do is show your hand. And so if they are in fact buying gold, and I don't know if they are, but if in fact they are buying gold, they're doing it very quietly and very secretly, and they're not going to let anybody know about it until they've got the amount of gold they need. And by the way, that's the same thing that China's been doing. You know, their 2,300 tons of official central bank gold reserves it's not believable. It's probably 10 times that amount. Even Goldman Sachs came out and said it. I mean, in the first quarter, central banks reported 16 tons of gold purchases, but the London gold flows show a different story. There were 244 tons. So a lot of these central banks, it's not just China, but you got Saudi Arabia, all these countries that are buying gold quietly, not in order not to spook the market and cause damage to their own currencies, because there'd be a loss of confidence in the fiats if people were knowing that these banks are buying a lot of gold, and it would spike the gold price, which would be counterproductive for their accumulation strategy. So yes, I totally agree that that's the logical thing. And of course, they can't talk about it. They can't.
Before we continue my conversation with Frank Giustra, I just want to take a moment to thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoy these conversations, please share our content, please subscribe to the channel, and keep in mind that full episodes are also posted on Apple and Spotify podcasts. Every subscription, every like, every share, every comment helps us reach more people, and I'm very grateful for your support. I'd also like to extend a big thank you to my partners at Miles Franklin Precious Metals. For nearly 4 decades, they've been one of the most respected and trusted names in precious metals. And if you've been watching this channel for a while, you know we spend a lot of time talking about rising debt, inflation, and the long-term risks facing the global financial system. And that is exactly why so many investors are looking to physical gold and silver as a way to diversify their portfolios and help preserve their purchasing power. So if you would like to learn more and explore how and whether a precious metal strategy makes sense for you, there is a very experienced team at Miles Franklin that is happy to answer your questions, and you can reach them at info@milesfranklin.com. All right, now back to my conversation with Frank Giustra. And look, I mean, we do know from the World Gold Council that central banks are buying, China is buying, but the World Gold Council has said that I think something like a third of the gold in the global supply is unaccounted for, that they don't believe that the central banks are being honest with exactly how much they're buying. Now, it was interesting because Secretary Bessent was very emphatic in saying that the U.S. officially holds the largest declared national stockpile in the world, approximately 8,133 metric tons of gold. Now, you mentioned this, that China officially reports around 2,300 metric tons. It is the world's largest gold producer. Much of the gold domestically remains inside the country. And, you know, Beijing can also accumulate gold through state-owned banks and sovereign wealth funds and other government-linked entities without immediately placing those holdings on the People's Bank of China's official balance sheet. And some analysts say that China could control around 5,500 metric tons. Some have aggressive estimates saying 20,000 tons. So
that's right. Goldman Sachs, 20,000 tons, possibly.
If Goldman Sachs, if it's becoming more Wall Street, Main Street conversation, that tells you something. So you believe China is significantly understating the amount of gold it controls. And what point?
I've always said that.
At what point could China decide that it will reveal its true holdings? And what happens if China comes out and says, we have more gold in the United States?
Well, I don't know if they actually have to ever state the total amount, but they're already signaling gold's role. I mean, you have to be blind not to see what they're doing with respect to physical eliminating or trying to eliminate paper gold trading in China. What they're trying to do is to make the physical delivery of gold be the price setter for gold, not the paper market. The paper market, just a huge leveraged casino, okay? And that's why gold is so easily manipulated by the West when they need to manipulate the gold price. But China is trying to move away from that, eliminate the West's ability to price gold and manipulate the price of gold using the paper market by demanding physical delivery. So will they ever declare the total amount? Do they have to? Well, they might just set up, as they're doing in Hong Kong at the moment, they're claiming they're going to have about 2,000 tons of physical gold in the Hong Kong vaults. And then they're thinking about similar arrangements in the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, Switzerland. And it's always been my theory that once they set up those gold vaults, and let's say they all have 2,000 tons each, it's to allow gold to be the settlement mechanism in bilateral trades in local currencies. So as I said before, if China's trading in yuans versus Saudi Arabia in riyals, and there's a surplus of currency, unwanted currency at the end of a trading period, they can settle that with gold. And that's, I've been saying that for 6 years, that probably where they're heading is to be able to trade outside the US dollar system using local currencies and settling unwanted currencies with gold. And so do they ever have to say we have 20,000 tons, or do they just say, well, we're going to have 2,000 tons here, 2,000 tons there, and that'll solve the problem? So maybe they'll declare it, maybe they won't. But until they finish buying what they need to buy, they're not going to say anything. They're going to continue to buy covertly, which is what they're.
I mean, to your credit, Frank, you have certainly argued for years that this would happen, that gold would be used as a neutral reserve asset, that China and the BRICS would be building a parallel financial architecture, if you will. You and Andy Schectman, the first people that I've heard discussing it, to give you credit, and it is, coming through. We're seeing the steps develop here. So, you've always believed that gold will re-enter into the monetary system. What does that re-entry officially look like? Does it have to be official? Is it more of a subtle play? Like, talk us through that thesis.
It could be.
Before it got too late, he found a shield in a careful plan, held in trust by a steady hand. He checked each provision, each benefit cost, each loan that could gain, each value that's lost. A shield can protect, but it must be known. You use with patience, wisdom, not force alone. Protection ain't promise if you don't know the price. Every turn needs advice. Look twice before you step. Look twice before you yield. Truth in the heart and smart. The syntactical trust, watch the interest flow. Map the long road from the seas below. It warned when the value began to fade. Show the changing cost with the plans we made. Until read the numbers, but he knew every name. Every child that come was part of the frame. He would never trade tomorrow for today. He'd choose the wise way. Protection ain't promise if you don't know the price. Every gain is weight. Every turn needs advice. Measure the field and don't move blind. What's borrowed now can mine behind. Raise the guardian shield. Let it stand through the rain. Protect tomorrow's promise. Through the pressure and the strain. Let the records be revealed. Beauty in the heart. Raise the guardian shield. We keep the future smart. Not every open door is the road to take. Not every shine of value should wake a whole face. Study the terms, measure the field. Know what is borrowed, know what is sealed. Raise the guardian shield. Let it stand through the rain. Protect tomorrow's promise. Through the pressure and the strain. Let the system track the balance. Beauty in the heart. Let the records be revealed. Beauty in the heart. Yeah, beauty in the heart. Wisdom in hand. Raise the guardian shield. Stand firm. Raise the guardian shield. Raise the guardian shield.
Many things, again, and I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't tell you what the system will actually, how it will work. But my guess is that the easiest way, because there's not enough gold to back the money supply, not at today's prices. To back the global money supply, the U.S. and everywhere else, you would have to have a gold price at significantly higher prices. And maybe that's in the cards as well, to revalue gold as a true backing to currency. But then you're not talking about $4,000 or $5,000 gold. You're talking about much, much higher. So that would be to create an official backing to currencies, okay? I don't think that that's where we're headed. I think gold will be used as a mechanism to trade outside the US dollar system and to do it efficiently, especially with this M-Bridge project now, where central banks can trade in their local currency and settle instantaneously, and completely outside the US dollar system. And like I said, in a situation where China has a trade deficit with a country, there's a surplus of extra yuans in a country that's unwanted, they can always settle it with gold, because you can currently go as an institution or a government to the Shanghai Gold Exchange and exchange your yuans for physical gold. You can do that today. So I think these are all little mechanisms that are being put in place, and gold is playing sort of the backbone to all of this system is gold, because it's scarce, it can't be printed, and it can't be sanctioned. It's no one else's liability.
And again, you have been making this point for, well, at least 5 years since I've been speaking with you, and the pieces have been falling into place. So what do things look like, do you think, 5 years from now?
I think within 5 years, and I've had these debates with people that say, the U.S. dollar system is going to be around for decades and decades and decades. It's going to be a slow burn, and that may be the case. I'm tending to think that there are so many fires emerging that have to be put out with this global system. Like the global monetary system is in huge trouble. And when I say huge, I'm talking about double D huge trouble, debt and derivatives. It's too levered, it's too interconnected, and it's too opaque. We don't know all of the over-the-counter derivatives and everything that's going on, the amount of debt that's being created, which is astronomical. And so you've got this situation where we're going to have a reset, okay? And fiat currencies are on their way out. I think they had a limited shelf life, as all fiat currency has, and we're past the due date on certain fiat currencies today. So I think we're going back to a hard asset environment where we have to give enough confidence to a currency or a trading system that relies on currencies to trade that is solid and is not, you can't print it and you can't sanction it, okay? And so we're going back to that kind of a system, and gold is the only asset. There's nothing else that's owned by central banks in huge quantities. Now foreign central banks own more gold than they own U.S. treasuries. So we're repositioning where gold is going to play a monetary role. It's no longer fringe theory. It's here. It's arrived. So how the actual mechanics work, it could be different things. But I suspect Enbridge, which has been pilot tested now for a few years between China, Hong Kong, Thailand, Saudi Arabia, is now going, and it has about 30 countries observing, all BRICS countries. I think so. What's going to end up happening is you're going to have two parallel currency systems until there's a major crisis in the world that everything falls apart and you have to create a brand new global system. But I think that's not going to happen voluntarily. That's going to require some major event. And I hate to say it, but it could be, financial collapse, depression, war, whatever. And then you'll get a new global system. In the meantime, you have two parallel systems, the Western-based US dollar system and what will be the BRICS China-led system involving local currencies, digital currencies. The digital yuan is now becoming the digital monetary superhighway, and gold as it's giving it its credibility.
Side. New wars in the circle, head up, eyes on the prize. Lost the state in the dust, we've been calling it back. Truth on the tongue, and the whole room snap. Gold in the palm, silver in the cloth. Count every move, let the weak hand cough. Teach the young ones how the whole world turn. Every locked door gon' feel that burn. Signs don't lie. Recoup it, stand in the line. More's on the move, now it's time. Drew and Khalifa, lead the line. Drew and Khalifa. Shine that light. Drew and Khalifa. Gold and silver in the hand. We take it back. We take a stand. With a clean, firm hand, by the law of the land, make the whole world understand. Diversity metals in the ledger and the gold. Metalomex on the table, let the new day fold. Alpine gold gleam like the sunbeam call. From the old lost estate to the first stone wall. No drift and no more bending low. We was built for the climb, let the whole wide know. Line by line, truth in the blood Khalifa. Drew and Khalifa. Drew and Khalifa. Shine that light. Drew and Khalifa. Drew and Khalifa. Gold and silver in the hand. We take it back. We take a stand. Drew and Khalifa. Drew and Khalifa. Lead the line. New moles rise and we ride. From the old Dutch Road to the Iron Gate. We remember our name. We don't hesitate. Every child gon' know what the elders knew. True to self in the mirror, look back, stand true. Drew and Khalifa, lead the line. Drew and Khalifa. Drew and Khalifa. Drew and Khalifa, shine that light. Drew and Khalifa. Drew and Khalifa. Gold and silver in the hand. We take it back. We take a stand. Drew and Khalifa. Drew and Khalifa. Lead the line. New moles rise and we do that war dance for me. Sound Money Crew.
Morris bloodline, feel me?
Paper on the table for my name, if for sale. I walk with the flag, let the whole room tell. Know what you Ali in the way that I move. Clean in my step, got along my groove. They try to change thought, try to text the soul. But truth in my chest got a wild red glow. From Memphis to Harlem, we stamp that ground. Joking in the square when the drums come round.
Do that war dance for me. Do that war dance for me. Queen Khalifa, talk that flame. Crown on your head, say my name. We will never make the kneel. We were born to rise, born to heal. I'd rather die free than live as a slave. I'd rather die free. I'd rather die free.
Morris bloodline.
We don't behave.
Morris bloodline.
We run this clean.
Know what Drew Ali.
On the front line.
Queen Khalifa.
In the gold shine. I'd rather die free than live as a slave.
Free.
Chocolate diva, I step like a queen. Gold in my tone and my eyes stay keen. I speak for the mothers, the sons, the land with a whole new fire and a lifted hand. Mr. Bay in the cup with the righteous talk. Sound Money Crew when we take that walk. No chain for my mind, no lock for my breath. I choose my crown over fear, over death.
Busy old Bailey, the drumline call. When the room get tense, let the brave ones brawl. Not with hate, but with unresolved. When the people wake up, every lie dissolve.
Do that war dance for me.
Do that war dance for me.
That war dance for me.
We
We came in peace with a lion stance. Queen Khalifa flow. Let the whole world glance, glance. I'd rather die free than live as a slave. I'd rather die free. I'd rather die free.
Morris bloodline.
We don't behave.
Morris bloodline.
We run this clean.
Know what Drew Ali.
On the front line.
Queen Khalifa.
In the gold shine. I'd rather die free than live as a slave.
Free. It's a bag. Chocolate diva. Sound Money Crew. Do that war dance for me. Bitch, you beg.
Do that war dance for me.
Morris bloodline.
Chocolate diva.
Mr. Bay.
Queen Khalifa flow. I was born with a fire in my chest. Old flags, new chains. I reject the test. Noble Drew Ali on the page in my hand, telling young King stand, telling young Queen stand. I see the trap in the smile of a deal. See the price tag high, what the soul has to feel. But I move like my granddaddy drums on cue. If they want my name, better come for truth.
I don't bend for the crown.
I don't kneel for the paper.
I I was made for the sound.
Made for something greater. I'd rather die free than live as a slave. I'd rather die free. Can you hear me, babe? Do that war dance for me. Do that war dance for me. Do that war. I'd rather die free. More is blood in me.
Yo, chocolate diva come through with that Queen Khalifa flow. Gold in the tone, but she cold when she knows. Every line hit like a stamp on a dope. Every word got the weight of a nation restored. Mr. Bay in the corner with the truth on blast. Big Jill Bay got the whole room cast. Been cooking on the floor, sharp cuts clean. Feet talk fast like a new world dream. The path is dark.
We still go harder.
If the night takes shots,
we still move smarter. I'd rather die free and live as a slave. I'd rather die free. Can you hear me, babe? Do that war dance for me. Do that war dance for me. Do that war. I'd rather die free. More is blood in me. No bow name, no borrow name, no fake peace, no paper chain, no boo Drew left the light in the flame. Queen Khalifa keep speaking that claim. Hands to the sky when the ancestors call. We don't shrink, we stand tall. Big few bakes, they move and we move like thunder. Whole crew rise, make the whole room run. Then live as a slave. I'd rather die. Can you hear me, babe? Do that war dance for me. Do that war dance for me. Do that. I'd rather die. More is blood in me.
Yo.
do that war dance for me.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay. Hopefully I'm coming in loud and clear. Hopefully I'm coming in loud and clear. Hold on for 1 second. Let's see here. Lot going on. So much to do, so little time. But, we're going to make the most of it. We definitely, make the most of it here. Like, for example, let's see here. A lot of times we get caught up into the hustle and bustle of the rhetoric, especially what's like on the news and stuff like that. The news is designed, in my opinion, to keep a lot of our people just kind of all over the place. You follow me? Like really, really, really all over the place. And you got to focus on certain stuff. Like right now, a lot of folks are still waiting on this global reset. I'm here to tell you it's already going to happen. A lot of folks are saying, well, I'm listening to folks that are in gold and silver, and they're like, okay, we're waiting on gold to be revalued. We're waiting on silver to be revalued. It already going to happen. So in my opinion, a lot of things that a lot of folks are waiting on has already happened. And the danger of waiting for something that already happened is it won't come like you think. And so you are literally being boiled alive. For those of you that have been participating with us, we're in a new cycle. Technically, we're less than 60 days remaining in this fiscal year. CourtBank, which is what you're seeing on the screen, is definitely in effect. This is a mastery class, a master teacher class that's actually being done. A lot of this curriculum, information, et cetera, is being put together in a mastery directory that you can definitely gain access to. And I'm going to be giving you some of that information in this particular course tonight. So without further ado, let's talk about exposing this banking system. Because first off, let's call banking what it really is. One of the banks that can actually assist you with what I'm about to say is this thing called a court. A lot of people don't understand that a court really is a bank.
And when you lock into that concept, then you can kind of really see what's actually happening right below the surface. For most people, CourtBank or the court acting as a bank, it gives you kind of an idea of, wait a minute, that's right. Everything we do is commercial in nature, and they are literally tallying up these infractions that you're committing in commerce. Correct. And so if we don't understand that the right way, we could literally be playing into our own demise. Like, what's significant is in, I think, the end of November, they're going to be re-implementing a new piece of quote unquote legislation that's going to allow 18 to 26 year olds to be repetitioned into the system, just like they was doing during the days of Vietnam and the draft. That's not talked about, you know. And for those of you that actually voted for your quote unquote local politicians or a politician to give you X, Y, and Z, and you have no idea that 18-24 to 25 year olds up to 40, you know, the technical aspect of it is if you're between 18 and 40, you better be really on your P's and Q's. I'm just going to tell everybody that I care about whether they want to become one or not. Become a notary, start practicing sound money, so that way you can, you know, at least demonstrate that you are outside of a certain fold or jurisdiction, because, you know, it's over 400 grand that every taxpayer and or United States citizen, if you're an entrepreneur, you're considered a taxpayer, you know, in one aspect. Both jurisdictions owe the federal government over $400,000 a year. So all of this money that they're printing is to keep you right in place. And you got to really, 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 really understand all of this so you can really move forward. Let me just share something with you. These are going to be like some instructions or positions that if you're practicing sound money, you can actually start implementing. The first one is going to be dealing with if you got a knowledgeable notary, someone who referred you to this network, and we're coming up on the architecture of wealth, where we're dealing with quote unquote certified numismatic specialist and sound money architecture under our CNS smart contract curriculum. These are some of the principles that we practice. First one here that I'm going to discuss is going to be evidence before claim, which means no statement should be stronger merely because it is repealed, notarized, tokenized, formatted, or placed into a beautiful publication. Identify the source, the witness, the expert, the record, the authority, and the limitations. Strong institutions disclose what remains unknown. Number 2, identity before authority. Knowing who the person is does not prove that the person may act for a trust, estate, court, company, vault, lender, community body. Record the physical or record the principle, the role, the authority instrument, and the scope of power. Number 3, attribution before grade. And this is for those of you that are in the numismatic community. A grading opinion only makes sense if the object has been correctly identified. Establish issuer, denomination, date, mint, type, variety, manufacturer, and manufacturer and relevant diagnosis before arguing about a number on a 1 to 7 grading parameter. Number 4 is authentication before validation. A validation built on a counterfeit or altered object is structurally unsound. Confirm the identity and genuineness of the asset to an appropriate standard before treating price evidence as meaningful. And I'll just do number 5. 5 is purpose before price. The same asset can have a retail, a wholesale, an insurance, a fair market, a state, orderly liquidation, forced sale, or collateral value. That's a lot of values. State the purpose of the validation date before selecting the number. See, a lot of folks in commerce, they're stuck in price, and they very rarely get into value. And a lot of the things that we teach here with a lot of our curriculum is to instill sound money principles as the foundation or the key pillar of validation. Sound money, and these are things that are directly attached or is, quote unquote, in this case, gold and silver. One of our favorites in terms of trust currency is what we call gold backs. But there are other strategies that you will hear us talk about this week. It is so good to be back, and when I say back, full blown schedule by actually giving you this information on our quote unquote WTDTA radio platform. And again, we're going to be doing this nonstop 24/7, 7 days a week. You can also catch us on 365 Live with all of this information. But look, I've kind of teased you a little bit, kind of gave you some information, and you're going to be like, wow, okay, how do I use this? Well, check this out. If I just tell you how to use it, it ain't going to help you. But if you hear what's being done with it, maybe you'll get the point. Keep listening, because if you listen long enough, you'll learn something.
Turn the gain off, let it hit the pavement. Sound money movement in the building. Mr. Z on the sax, Chocolate Diva on the track. It's a global vibration. Alpine gold, Metallamix, diversity metals. We talking real value, real soul. Let's go, let's go. Stacking heavy, yeah, the weight is in the vault. Alpine gold shining, never caught in the fault. Diversity metals in the portfolio, we diversify. Why the paper money falling, watch the vision rise. Metallamix, yeah, we couldn't do the static. NYC boom, yeah, the flow is automatic. Memphis juking in the streets, we hitting the concrete. Sound money movement, yeah, we never accept defeat. It's that sound, that soul, that heavy metal flow. Alpine gold in the palm, watch the riches grow. We the movement, yeah, we shifting the tide. Diversity metal locked deep inside. From the city to the south, we carrying the throne. In the sound money movement, we finally at home. I got that Southern anthem swag, drip like honey gold. The story of the value, yeah, it's gotta be told. Metallamix standard, yeah, we raising the bar. You can see the sparkle even from a distant star. Blow it loud, sound of the brass and the brick. Trading in the noise for something steady and thick. No paper dreams, just a physical way. Sound money movement, yeah, we deciding our fate. Host mode, talk to him. We ain't just talking currency, we talking legacy. Diversity metals, Alpine, the whole ecosystem. It's the shift, it's the change, the sound of the soul. We taking back the power, we taking back full control. That soul, that heavy metal flow. Alpine gold in the palm, watch the riches grow. We the movement, yeah, we shifting the tide. Diversity metal locked deep inside. From the city to the south, we carrying the throne. In the sound money movement, we finally at home. Sound money, diversity metals, Alpine gold, yeah, keep it real.
Okay, so that people will actually trust that currency. They know that if they're sitting on a surplus currency, they can always exchange it for gold if they so desire. That's where I think we're headed. In the next and it'll happen in the next 5 years, in my opinion.
Now, the crisis that gets us there, you've mentioned the financial crisis. Sovereign debt crisis is certainly something that's been flagged on this show. You also mentioned war. Let's go down the war route first. You did make this point earlier, and then subsequently, we did have the war in Iran, and that links to the petrodollar that you have been discussing at length and reading and writing about at length. And there have been some talk that, some theories that a large part of the Iran action partly motivated by protecting the petrodollar. And again, just for our viewers who are not familiar, petrodollar system grew out of the relationship that the U.S. established with Saudi Arabia in the 1970s. The U.S. provided security and support, and then oil, the agreement was overwhelmingly priced and traded in dollars. Saudi Arabia and other oil producers agreed to only sell oil in dollars. Those dollars were then recycled back into U.S. assets, including treasuries, and countries around the world needed dollars to buy oil, and that created persistent demand for the dollar, helping to cement its position at the center of the global financial system.
Emergency, and you know why he did that? Because the only way that he could freeze Iran's assets, we had to be in a national emergency. Y'all getting this picture now? You can't just go freeze somebody's assets. You have to be in a national emergency to do that. So now here, OPEC, not just Iran, but OPEC period, is saying we're taking our money out of the United States. If they did that, this country would shut down. Everything would stop. Your lights would go, I mean, this whole country would shut down. And I'm going to tell you why the country would shut down. Because this country, is in debt to something called the Federal Reserve. I'll teach on that in another lecture in a couple of weeks. Help you understand that that green stuff you got in your pocket is not money. It's a note. It actually says it across the top. Federal Reserve note. I'll teach on that later.
Now, since Biden's sanctions against Russia, more and more oil has been sold in currencies other than the dollar. So how important, Frank, is this petrodollar status to dollar hegemony?
I've always said that, in my opinion, the petrodollar and as a result, America's supreme currency reserve status is more important, or as important, or more important than their military in terms of U.S. power. It's the U.S. Reserve currency has given the U.S. immense power, and if you took that away tomorrow, it would be catastrophic. It's definitely a national security issue. It would be an existential threat to America's survival because of its debt. It would lower the standard of living. Inflation would go up. Interest rates would have to go much higher. And more importantly, the U.S. would lose the power it currently has to sanction countries. And it's sanctioned, like, I think a third of the countries around the world are under U.S. sanctions. 60% of them are poor countries. So, so that currency reserve status and the petrodollar allows that, since when Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard in 1971, the dollar would have been done, and it would have been an implosion had not Kissinger come up with a plan to create the petrodollar, convince Saudi Arabia, provide you Saudi Arabia with security guarantees, you sell your oil in dollars, and and park all your money in U.S. Treasuries. That's worked really well up until recently. The security guarantee hasn't worked very well during the Iran war, but that petrodollar is the key, and that's why the U.S. goes to great lengths to prevent countries from selling oil in non-dollar terms.
So you understand, you can see how big oil controls big banks and how the two in concert will control the United States economy, and not only the economy, the elected leaders as well. Just for the sake of research, y'all don't have to take my word for what I'm saying. Write this down. Write this down. Write this word. Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Now, see, how many of y'all remember Desert Storm? Okay, I don't know if y'all ever thought about it, but how in the world are we going to get oil from Arab countries if we're at war with them?
Noble in the struggle. No gold on my neck, but the whole room saw. Noble mind sharp, let the dead speak up with a holy kind of fire and the steel cut trust. I read the signs in the smoke from the block, in the faces on the stoop when the hard times knock. They wanted us folded, wanted us cut, but I stood like a temple when the pressure got rough.
I'm queen of thunder, feet in the same. Palm on the wheel, I know who I am. I seen a wolf smile with a velvet grin, then spit that blade when the lights get dim. But I move like water through a locked up gate, turn a storm to a rhythm, turn fear to fate. If they call it a rumor, I call it a test. We wear our truth like a chain on the chest.
Hear that drum in the marrow,
feel that call in the bone.
They can't break what was built,
they can't take our home.
From the prayer to the pave,
from the past to the now,
we've been carrying the kingdom,
and we're carrying it now. King Alfred Plain,
we rise again.
King Alfred Plain,
we rise again.
Hand to hand,
stand like that.
King Alfred Plain,
we rise again.
Say it clear,
say it true.
They can't dim
what we do.
What we do. King Alfred Plain,
we rise again.
Hey, King Alfred Plain,
we rise. I seen the young ones hungry, eyes like sparks, running full speed through the weather in the dark. So I told them don't beg for a seat at the feast. Build your own table, make the whole block eat.
And I told my sisters keep your head up high, even when the cold wind tries to burglarize. We got roots in the sand and stars in the vein. We don't bow to the chatter or the change.
Let the papers keep twisting what they can't control. We got names in the marrow, we got heat in the soul. When the ground starts shaking and the light comes near, we just look at each other and the path gets clear.
If the night gets long, let it long. If the road gets steep, we go strong. From the mosque to the corner, from the dock to the dome, what was buried in there comes marching home. King Alfred Plain,
we rise again.
King Alfred Plain,
we rise again.
Hand to hand,
stand like that.
King Alfred Plain,
we rise again.
Say it clear,
say it true.
They can't dim
what we do.
What we do. King Alfred Plain,
we rise again.
King Alfred Plain,
we rise again. Noble in the struggle,
queen in the flame. We remember, we remember, we remember the name.
And obviously can't do anything about Russia. Russia's too powerful to blow the beat up. And you think about it, look around the world. And I wrote, as I said, I wrote an article last month
which
or so.
I read.
Called The Petrodollar Police, which you read. And basically, I just pointed out to the fact, if you look at Iraq, Libya, Venezuela, and Iran, all major oil-producing countries with the world's largest reserves of oil, all of them went through a point where they were either threatening to sell oil outside the U.S. dollar system or actually doing it. Saddam Hussein, during the UN Food for Oil program, made a decision. He called the dollar the currency of the enemy. So he said, we're going to sell our oil in euros. Look what happened to Saddam. Weapons of mass destruction that were never there. And, we're going to liberate Iraq and whatever. And the minute they took over Iraq, guess what? Iraq started selling oil back in dollars. Libya is the most interesting one of all. Gaddafi, who had basically agreed to every Western demand, got rid of his nuclear program, chemical program, paid the Lockerbie compensation, allowed Exxon and BP and others to explore and develop oil fields in Libya, and even allowed the CIA to run rendition trips through Libya. He did all of that, and still, because he had the temerity to suggest that Africa should create a Pan-African dinar backed by Libya's 143 tons of gold, and oil should be only sold in those dinars, cost him his life. And it all came out in emails when they were doing the Benghazi investigations. There was an actual email that basically admitted that that was one of the reasons they were doing it. So, you know, plenty of reasons. Poor Maduro, you know, the narco terrorist, you know, that was dumping, you know, tons of cocaine and fentanyl into the U.S., whereas in fact it was coming from Mexico. But, you know, they took him out, and he was selling oil at a discount in yuans to China.
So what the United States did is they created this entity called Strategic Petroleum Reserve. That is the oil that we have, or this country has, in reserve while the Arabs and us ain't getting along. While OPEC and us ain't getting along. So with that, y'all understand what I'm saying? And of course the prices are very, very, very high, because that's reserve. And we have to be careful how we use it. Write this down. Al Gore. Have y'all ever heard of him before? Al Gore and big oil companies. Go to the internet and look it up. Let me tell you what you're going to find right off the bat. The Gore family empire. What did I just say? See, people, it ain't about just Al Gore running for president. The Gore family empire holds about $500,000 worth of stock in this company called Occidental Petroleum Corporation. That's why Al Gore wanted to be president. Al Gore wanted to be president because if we had elected him president, yeah, he would say to all of these oil OPEC, y'all get out of here. I got my own oil company.
I'm a born threat. I'm a born threat. I'm a born threat. Yeah. I'm a born threat. I'm a born threat. Yeah. From the desert sands to the ocean mist, visions in my head so vivid. Prophet in the city like Noble Drew Ali, painting paths so livid. He said, know thyself. So we rose from the shell, took the mask off, now we lifted. Temple in the heart, Morris star in the sky, whole tribe, stay gifted. Angels throws in the palms of my hands, I can feel that flame when I read. Line by line, unlocking time, every lost one planted like seed. We the heirs to a throne, you erase from the maps, but the truth don't bleed. When the car hit deep, we remember our names and we wake from the sleep with speed. North, south, east, west, that call gon' echo. Feds tilt low, brown skin glow like retro. Keys to the law in the speech of the ghetto. Map to the stars and it match every meadow. We've been marching in the shadows of a long dark night, but the dawn's on deck. See the sign in the crest, feel the crown on the neck. Every step, every breath, say the vow in my chest. I'm a born threat. Yeah. To the lies you spread, we the new Mars walking where the ancients spread. From the dust we ride with the fear in there. Noble Drew Ali, put the light in my steps. I'm a born threat. With the law I care. Got a promised land paid where our feet once bled. From the gold in the hills to the thoughts in my head. I'm a born threat.
ride high on the wind. That's a legend that live in our veins. Black queen on an eagle, armor gleam, whole kingdom in the heart of her brains. She whisper, claim your lane, claim your mind, never bow to a fraudulent chain. So we crossed that sea in the maps they hid, found truth in the unmarked plains. California on the cliff where the sun kissed metal, whole sky turned amber and red. She point at the peaks where the white snow settles. Say, there go the steps ahead. Alpine ridges, spirit bridges, every path where our elders bled. But beneath that ice, there's a fire in the ore and a long lost thread. We share. We the new more stepping through the gates of the west with the stars of a roadmap bright. Banner in the wind, crescent moon in the crest. We remember every stolen right. Diversity, metals in the veins of the earth. Every color, every tone, every light. From the copper to the platinum, silver to the gold. Every soul got a match and shine. We ain't begging at the door. We reclaiming the keys. From the desert to the bay. Hear the hum of the seas. Got the call from the past and the sway of the trees. Now the promised land rise every time we believe. I'm on board, yeah. To the lies you spread. We the new Moors walking where the ancients tread. From the dust we rise with the fear and death. Noble Drew Ali put the light in my steps. I'm a born thread. With the law I care. Got a promised land paved where our feet once bled. From the gold in the hills to the thoughts in my head. I'm a born great. Now I'm a born thread. Metalamex in the codes of the stone. Like a cipher that live in the mind. Woo! Every glimmer in the rock is a piece of our thrones. Every spark is a sign by design. I go with them of the earth and the lines of the cliff. Every fall got a story to find. We decode each vein, every fracture and shift. See a map that the prophets align. Alpine gold in the crest of the range, where the air cut sharp and clear. We been climbing that grade through the trauma and chains. Now the summit feels so near. From the canyon to the peak, through the storm and the sleet, we advance with no fear. When the clouds pull back, see the kingdom intact that they swore would never appear. Diversity metals, every shade, every blend, every culture that they try to erase. We the alloy forged in the heat of the end, transforming pressure into grace. We the iron in the spine, we the silver in the mind, we the gold that they never could trace. Every step that we take, every vow that we make, put the truth back into its place. New Moors march in a line so long, but our rhythm stay tight on beat. Whole world shook when we sang that song. Feel the thunder roll under our feet. From the east to the west, from the hills to the street, our ascension don't take no seat. We the promise in the land, we the proof in the plan, we the spark they can never delete. I'm a born thread. Yeah. To the lies you spread, we the new Moors walking where the ancients tread. From the dust we rise with the fear and death. Noble Drew Ali put the light in my step. I'm a born thread. With the law I care. Got a promised land paved where our feet once bled. From the gold in the hills to the thoughts in my head. I'm a born great. Now I'm a born thread. From the temple to the peak we ascend, we ascend. With the prophet and the queen we defend, we defend. Every ore, every vein, every gem we extend. From the soil to the soul, this is not the end. From the desert to the bay we return what was slain. From the mines to the men.
Now, as Scott Besson said in that interview that you just played, they're selling in dollars.
Well, let's actually play that clip, and I'll let you pick it up on the other side.
Okay.
Dollar dominance is essential, and everything President Trump is doing here is, if you look, the new Venezuela is invoicing in dollars. They're coming back onto the dollar system. They've been sanctioned. They were not allowed to translate or to transact in dollars, and now the dollar is going to be the centerpiece of their trade. They were selling discounted oil to China and not getting dollars. We're seeing in the Iranian negotiations, the Iranians will be invoicing in dollars. So everything we are doing is pushing the dollar back. It's never left as the centerpiece for the global currency system, but we're reinforcing it. I would anticipate when the Russia-Ukraine conflict ends, that Russia will want to come back in the dollar system because, again, the dollar, it's our liquidity, it's our capital markets, it's the depth and breadth. Everyone wants to be here. And I think many times, the great thing about the United States is we course correct when we go too far one way or the other. And I think we should not be shy about flexing where we have advantages, and where we have advantages, share with our allies and push back on those who are not aligned with us.
Yeah, flexing, coups, assassinations, invasions, bombings, that's flexing. And by the way, he's dreaming about Russia and Iran going back to dollar sales of oil. That ship has sailed. I don't think that you're going to have a system, whatever happens with this Iran war, and I suspect it's going to go on for quite a long time. Iran is not, they just don't trust the U.S. U.S. doesn't trust them. I don't think that's ever going to happen. But it just goes to show you, he's saying the quiet part. He's saying what has been American policy forever, to basically stop this kind of behavior. And, and it's not a wild coincidence that four of the largest oil producing countries in the world are under U.S. attack. I think that's too much of a coincidence.
Protocols of the Wise Men of Zion, referred to in the 1700s, talked about this thing. In protocol number 2, it states, and I quote, "The administrators," check this out, people, "whom we shall choose from among the public, with strict regard to their capacities for servile obedience, will not be persons trained in the arts of government, and will therefore easily become pawns in our game in the hands of men of learning and genius, who will be their advisors, specialists bred and reared from early childhood to rule the affairs of the world." That's protocol number 2 of the Protocols of Zion. How do they manage to get such control over the elected officials? Well, you got to understand something. There's an elite power group. Everybody say Committee of 300. I'm going to send y'all on a research project, okay? I'm going to send y'all on research. Don't just stand up and take my word for this. Y'all go do what I did. Do some homework. Write that down, Committee of 300. Write it down. Pull it up and go read about them. Write down this word, Bilderbergers. Write it down, the Bilderbergers. Go see the influence of the Bilderbergers. That's Bilderbergers. Council on Foreign Relations. Y'all ever hear that? Why y'all think they talking about sending Jesse over to talk to these people? You gotta understand something, brothers and sisters. Jesse Jackson is a member of the Council on Foreign Relations. He's not just a black man. Somewhere along the line, he lost his focus for African liberation. There was a time when Jesse had an afro with a dashiki standing there talking about black power. Now he done became a member of their program. I pray to God prevent that from happening to me. I'm serious. I mean it. See, you know what happens? People like myself, what they do is they look into your background. And if you got any dirt in your closet, they'll come to you and say, listen, here's what we got on you. Now, you either work for us and do what we want you to do, or we're going to expose you. If you don't have your dirt in your closet, you know what they do? Then they come to you and try to buy you. They come to you and offer you a cabinet position somewhere or an ambassadorship in some country that don't even exist. Have you walk around, see, that's what happened with Andy Young. I don't know if y'all remember this. See, soon as they killed Martin Luther King, next thing they did was made Andrew Young an ambassador. Had to buy the man out. members of this international power elite, the Trilateral Commission, the Illuminati, they have the power, brothers and sisters, to directly influence the federal and executive branch of government.
And again, there are other motives that may also be legitimate bundled in with some of these actions, but viewing...
Yeah, Iran's also got the Israel situation, and Israel, Iran, and the U.S. and Israel, that also complicates it. But I think oil, controlling the petrodollar is important to the U.S.
And Secretary Bessent, as you just said the quiet part out loud. He actually confirmed that. And look, Frank, if you're the U.S., that's what you have to do, right? If you're the president of the United States, if you're running the show, isn't that what you need to do to,
yeah, if you're going to treat your currency, if you're going to abuse your currency like a battered wife and eventually destroy it, yeah, you got to resort to all sorts of nasty stuff to stay relevant, to keep the nation intact and not go bankrupt.
So what's interesting, guys, is that most individuals that are stuck in this whole ointment of what do I do because we're dealing in the Federal Reserve soup is I got to get out of it some kind of way. And I got to get out of it in a way where I'm not subject to third party risk. Wait a minute. What does the elite do? That's right. The elite are taking physical possession of precious metals. The elite are literally saying to everyone, here's some more cash, while they are using something else to acquire precious metals. Here's an interesting fact, and I'm just going to bring it up and then we're going to close. And again, for those of you that really want to dive deep and you're not part of our family, get with whoever referred you. I put a link out in the previous podcast for those that are interested in definitely learning more to join us in our private environment, quote unquote, so to speak. So you can get this information in a more condensed, because again, I'm on YouTube, so I'm trying to respect their platform. So I'm just going to just give you some information and then let YouTube do what it do. But I find it interesting that, when it comes to physical precious metals, like in accordance with the dollar to silver ratio right now, whatever the ounce of gold or ounce of silver is, let's just pick silver because silver has to be one of the most undervalued assets, I think, that's in existence today. The dollar to silver ratio right now per ounce, meaning that for every ounce that you hold, the dollar to silver ratio is about $1,474 per ounce. And that means there are 399 people that all have a paper claim on the physical silver that you may have. For gold, it's about 150 to 1. So whatever the price of gold is on the spot market, or what they call the COMEX, the paper market, there's 150 times whatever that value is. There's 150 people that all have claim to that 1 ounce. So if it's like 5,000, that's 5,000 times 150 United States dollars to everyone, parameter, So the paper to gold ratio is 150 to 1. The paper just the dollar to silver ratio is 1,474, and then the dollar to gold is like 11,000. So all I'm trying to tell you is that they're literally telling you something with these numbers, but because everybody's too cool for school, they think they know what's going on, and these are the same people that you better get vaccinated, and I bet not. I was like, well, why are you worried about me being vaccinated if you vaccinated? You follow me? Like, you got the jab. You should be safe, right? Now you come to find out that all that was bullshit. And they literally poison you for population control. And again, Dr. Fauci, whatever you want to call him, and Bill Gates, they're all telling everybody, well, they knew it was poison when they took it. They knew it was going to hurt them, potentially kill them when they did that. And this is the bizarro upside down world that you're now living in. And that's just on the surface. It gets deeper than this. But look, so glad to be back in this spread. Again, for those of you that are loving what you hear, we got a lot of stuff dropping. So I'm just going to say this. Stay locked in. Visit us on 365 Live. Join us in our private space. If you want more information, you know how to reach out to us. You can come back to this link, drop something in the comment. I'll see what's up and see what's happening. And with that, look, they said a revolution will not be televised. We say, what if it is? You just didn't know it. Remember, if you keep doing what you do, we ain't going nowhere. And with that, we're going to say peace and love, family. Peace and love.